ABC27 News at 11 starts now with your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Eric Finkenbinder.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. After a week-long stretch of 90-degree heat, including today at 92, tonight seems like it is the warmest so far. We are now at 82. I mean, we are not cooling at all. The average high temperature now for this time of the year is 84. So a very warm night, lots of moisture in the air. We do have some showers off to our west, not necessarily here just yet. We will see increasing chances for storms over the next couple of days moving into the weekend. We also have newly formed Tropical Storm Ida, which could provide some tropical moisture for us next week. We'll talk about it coming up.
U.S. military members killed in Kabul, the latest on the evacuation effort.
A colonel who has completed 4 tours in Afghanistan. His reaction about what's taking place in Kabul coming up.
How you can help a woman making a difference in her son's memory.
Now, live from your local news source, this is ABC 27 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Richards.
I'm Valerie Pritchett. President Biden says, "We will not forget, we will hunt you down and make you pay."
That was directed at the faction of ISIS, taking credit for killing 13 U.S. service members and 60 Afghans in Kabul. Elizabeth Schulze reports.
After at least 13 U.S. service members were killed in 2 explosions outside the Kabul airport, President Biden addressing the nation.
The lives we lost today were lives given in the service of liberty, the service of security, the service of others, in the service of America.
And the president with this warning to ISIS-K, which is claiming responsibility for the attack.
To those who carried out this attack, as well as anyone who wishes America harm, know this: we will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay.
The Pentagon says a number of Afghans also fell victim to this heinous attack. A source tells ABC News one of the explosions was a suicide attack followed by gunfire outside the Abbey Gate. The second explosion was near the Barron Hotel, just a short distance from that same gate.
The attack on the Abbey Gate was followed by a number of ISIS gunmen who opened fire on civilians and military forces.
These devastating images show the wounded on the streets of Kabul. The Kabul Emergency Hospital says it's treating dozens of patients injured in the attack. In a statement to ABC News, a Taliban spokesperson is condemning the gruesome incident. The explosions happening hours after the U.S. Embassy in Kabul warned Americans to leave the airport immediately and to avoid it unless instructed, amid fears of an ISIS-affiliated attack. U.S. officials say there are still evacuations taking place from Kabul. The Pentagon estimates about 1,000 American citizens remain in Afghanistan. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
An area colonel and educator shares his thoughts about the situation in Kabul.
Jeremiah Marshall is back from the Army War College in Carlisle, where he spoke with a colonel who's done 4 tours in Afghanistan. Jeremiah.
Yeah, we spoke to Colonel Thomas Farr, who says over the years, our troops have put in so much hard work with the Afghans, and those efforts and sacrifices should never be forgotten. Mechanicsburg native Thomas Farr was commissioned into the United States military back in 1997. Colonel Farr has done 4 tours in Afghanistan and even completed work in Kabul. Farr says it's heartbreaking to hear the horrific details of what's taking place.
Well, it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation, particularly for the Afghans and particularly for the Marines that were just killed.
Colonel Farr says the job our troops have in Afghanistan is a high-risk operation and believes the very best are making the ultimate sacrifice.
I admire what they're doing, and I know that they will continue to do everything we can in honor of our country and the Afghans we've served with.
At the United States Army War College, Swar teaches the military strategy and campaigning course. He tells his students and soldiers as new developments and information come forward about what's taking place in Afghanistan in evacuations to think critically.
We did our best in there. And we served courageously. We served with high level of competence, and we accomplished many of our strategic objectives in Afghanistan. So we're sad, particularly for those who have lost lives over the 20 years and have sacrificed.
And to keep your head held high, and don't forget about the ones who risked it all. along with their families.
They're in our thoughts and prayers. They should know we're proud of them. All our soldiers we've lost. As I said, I've lost several friends, and we're proud of they did their mission, and we'll keep them in our thoughts and prayers.
And we also asked Colonel Svar if he could see himself going back to Afghanistan. He said that's not up to him, but if he's called to do so, he said he'll be ready. In studio, Jeremiah Marshall, ABC 27.
Thank you, Jeremiah. And we went to VFW 1213 in Harrisburg to speak with more local veterans. They call the violence and the chaos heartbreaking. One man said the evacuation should be handled differently, and we need to not only look like we're in charge, but actually be in charge until we leave on Tuesday.
You know, you have to let the world know that you're in command. And we have the greatest country in this world, and we're not going to give it up to anybody. So I just feel like we've been really hurt.
We also have reaction from Pennsylvania's U.S. senators. Republican Pat Toomey tweeted, "This must be a wake-up call for the Biden administration to lift its arbitrary deadline and take every step necessary to leave no American or deserving Afghan behind." In a statement, Democratic Senator Bob Casey says the safety of our troops and the Americans still in Afghanistan must remain our top priority. We cannot tolerate terrorist threats to the United States emanating from Afghanistan.
In other news, police in Chambersburg are investigating an attempted homicide. Here's what they are releasing so far. Investigators say someone was stabbed around 4:30 this morning on West Burkhart Avenue, adding the people in these surveillance photos may know something about it. Police described them as persons of interest and not suspects. Millersville University police are searching for a missing student, and if you've seen him, the department wants to hear from you. University officials say Matthew Mindler was last seen walking out of the West Villages residence hall. That was on Tuesday night. The first-year student has not returned home, answered phone calls, or gone to class since.
A jury has found a York Township doctor not guilty of indecent assault. Two female patients had accused Shubra Ray of groping them on the exam table. After the accusations, WellSpan put the doctor on a leave of absence and fully cooperated with authorities.
An update tonight on what killed a 4-year-old child found Wednesday inside a parked car in East Manchester Township. An autopsy confirmed that the death appears to have been heat-related. The family told police they noticed he wasn't inside the house. When they checked the car, they found him lifeless. Safety advocates say car safety starts inside the home.
A lot of times when these tragedies happen, children sneak out of the house and they get into the car, and then everybody looks everywhere else except the car.
Police aren't sure in this case how the child got into the car.
Even though not even half of Pennsylvanians are fully vaccinated, we do surpass most other states in our vaccination rate. We are also well below the national average for COVID hospitalizations. In 8 states, mostly in the South, the ICU capacity is at least 90%. In Galveston, Texas, 2/3 of people in the COVID ward are on ventilators, and all of those except one are unvaccinated. In Pennsylvania, the state health department reported another 3,300 cases today. Almost 6 million Pennsylvanians are fully vaccinated. 17,000 people are getting shots each day.
The Supreme Court will allow evictions to resume across the United States, despite President Biden enforcing a temporary ban put in place because of the pandemic. The Associated Press reports about 3.5 million Americans face eviction in the next 2 months.
Since the state legislature will not pass a mask mandate for schools, could Governor Wolf just mandate it? Well, yes, he could, but his team says he wants to work with the legislature to get it done. Observers agree it seems very unlikely the Republican-led legislature will change its mind. However, a public policy expert tells us things could change in that area if COVID gets really bad among kids.
He could potentially say, well, the legislature didn't do anything, so I'm going to, or it does give the opportunity to blame shift if they don't and things don't go well in schools in the fall.
For now, masking in schools is a local decision.
Local breast surgeon says timing is critical for women when it comes to COVID vaccines and mammograms. According to a doctor at Leader Surgical Associates UPMC, when you get the COVID-19 vaccine, it can cause the lymph nodes in your armpits to swell, which is a normal reaction. but that swelling can show up on a mammogram and may incline doctors to do a biopsy. Now that doctors are aware of this overlap, changes have been made.
We try to encourage people to delay getting their mammogram for a good 4 to 6 weeks after the vaccine to kind of help prevent that.
Doctors say this does not mean women should not get a COVID vaccine or skip mammograms, just that they need to communicate with their doctors to make sure the timing is just right.
Coming up next, a look back at 9/11 20 years later. Tonight, we hear from a coroner who worked the Shanksville site for 11 straight days.
Follow ABC27 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Whether you're in Harrisburg, York, or Lancaster, if you have debt problems, we have debt solutions. It's time to get out of debt with Harold Shepley and Associates.
Give my law firm a call. You've got nothing to lose but your debt.
It's summer and energy bills are rising along with the temperature. Your old windows are reaching the end of their lifespan, letting the AC out and the energy bills in. Fortunately, Pella's beautifully designed and durable products are built to exceed ENERGY STAR certification. With multiple product lines available in a wide range of styles and colors, Pella can upgrade the look of your home at any budget and backed with some of the best warranties in the business. No wonder Pella is rated #1 by homeowners for providing the highest value. To schedule your in-home consultation, call 855-77-PELLA or go to PellaCentralPA.com.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Buy a Tacoma now with the best resale value in its class and get special APR financing from Toyota for 72 months or lease a Tacoma for just $179 a month.
Toyota, let's go places. Whether you're in Harrisburg, York, or Lancaster, if you have debt problems, we have debt solutions. It's time to get out of debt with Harold Shepley and Associates.
Give my law firm a call. You've got nothing to lose but your debt.
As we approach the 20th anniversary of September 11th, ABC27 is bringing you stories from the people and places that change forever. And tonight we share the story of the Cambria County coroner who helped investigate the crash site in Shanksville. Despite 10 years of experience, he's never witnessed anything like the scene of the Flight 93 crash. The coroner recalls one of the most impactful moments, a conversation he had with a family member of a Flight 93 passenger.
We had taken the caskets out to the site. We were coming back, and the one family member grabbed my hand and said, "Thank you." That did it.
The coroner hopes young people understand the significance of this day and the courage and sacrifice of the passengers and crew of United Flight 93. You can find more 9/11 stories and an interactive timeline by going to abc27.com.
Staff shortages are hitting not just businesses, but first responders as well. The Lancaster County 911 Center needs more dispatchers. They're a lifeline during emergencies, and those who've done the work for years say it is rewarding.
We're the first point of contact for people when they are in an emergency situation. The industry says that we are the first responders. So being the first person that the person is talking to, they're dependent on you to get them the help that they need when they need it in the proper way.
Lancaster County is holding a job fair Tuesday at the Lancaster County Public Safety Training Center in Mannheim. That's August 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. Damon Turbot's here with Look Ahead to Sports.
High school football now kicks off tomorrow night, but still a reminder that we are in the middle of this pandemic. Coming up, we're going to hear from a local coach who had himself a pretty scary battle with COVID-19.
Plus, on National Dog Day, one local shelter is helping furry friends find forever homes.
After a car crash, put experienced attorneys on your side. When you're hurt in a car, call HHR. Just dial 2s.
The only thing more incredible than our selection and savings at LB Smith is our award-winning service department. We are a 19-time Ford President's Award recipient for customer satisfaction. Our fully trained staff can handle all makes and models. from tires to oil changes and everything in between. Over 80 years keeping your vehicle on the road. L.B. Smith. Market Street, Lemoyne. Online at lbsmithford.com.
It's RuPaul's Last Night.
You know, I may just pack you up in my suitcase and take you home.
Take me with you, honey.
With Tandy Newton, Izzy G, and a fabulous fashion show.
One ticket, please.
New Kimmel with guest host RuPaul, tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Take the ABC27 weather app with you wherever you go. Step back in time at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair at Mount Hope Estate. 2 lucky winners will win a family 4-pack of tickets each week until September 26th. Go to abc27.com/contest or the ABC27 News app to enter. You're watching ABC27 News, your local news source.
It'd be better if we liked humidity more, right?
Yes, but I think we're going to get a break eventually.
Eventually, like, you know, mid-September, eventually,
Okay.
yeah, by October perhaps. But yeah, I think this is the time of the year, just like, you know, March, when we're like, we just want to change, you know. In March, we just want it warmer now. We just drop the humidity, you know. Even if we have to take the heat, that's okay. But man, the humidity, it's keeping the temperatures high. So what happens is all of that humidity during the daytime, that sun just heats all of that water vapor up. And we don't cool as quickly when we have all of that moisture in the air. So we're very warm. A lot of us are still into the 80s right now. So yeah, it's hot. And by the way, when you have this much moisture in the air, it's really hard to get into the mid to upper 90s. So we peak at 92. But notice we're almost 10 degrees warmer than average, not just during the day, but also at night. All right, let's show you the high temperatures that we had today. 96 for Elliotsburg, Lebanon, Mifflintown, St. Patrick's School in Carlisle at 95. Currently, now we're starting to see more upper 70s, but still, Tuscarora Junior High School, for example, still at 80 degrees. 81, E-Town at the Public Library. We've got the E-Town Fair that continues yet for tomorrow and Saturday. It's been dry so far. And I think for the most part, it is going to be fairly dry most of the time. I say most of the time because we will start to see better chances for storms the next couple of days, but it doesn't mean it's going to be raining all the time or it's storming all evening. Doppler radar to show you some storms off just to the north and west of Lewistown. As we take a look at the big picture, we've got the ridge of high pressure that we have to the south. That's pumping in the heat and the humidity. Then we get this front. We also have a little weak system that's just kind of moving through. You can almost see the cyclonic flow there. Sort of a weak low that's just going to kind of move toward the Chesapeake, and that's kind of our trigger mechanism for tomorrow. So watch what happens tomorrow afternoon and evening. Again, hit or miss, not a guarantee that we get a lot of widespread storms. So that's what we're going to be calling for tomorrow. Then moving into Saturday morning, what seems to be consistent is we start off with clouds, maybe even a little bit of drizzle in spots. It doesn't last long. By the time we get close to lunchtime, we begin to burn that off, and that allows some storms to develop. So it looks like Saturday seems to be right now the better chances for storms, and then it becomes a little bit less moving into Sunday and Monday, back to the stray. So we start increasing the chances tomorrow. Better, if not best chances Saturday, then stray storms Sunday, Monday. Then take a look at Wednesday and Thursday. So we are tracking Ida. That's what we're going to be calling it for next Wednesday and Thursday. Let's give you the tropical update because it's now a tropical storm with winds of 40 miles an hour. All bets are off until we can get Ida to move into the Gulf. Then we have a better idea of just how much it could impact here in the mid-state. But notice that a lot of the model guidance and the National Hurricane Center forecast track does show that east hook, and that allows some moisture to head in our direction, but that wouldn't be until the middle of next week. So heat, humidity, we still have that for at least a couple more days.
Thanks, Eric.
Well, one of the top trending topics on social media today, National Dog Day. The holiday started back in 2004 to celebrate our best friends.
So we are indulging ourselves today by showing you our dogs. Lily is my 14-year-old English Cocker Spaniel. She loves food and she loves winter.
And these are my fur babies. On the left, you see Scrappy. In the middle, Molly. Avon and Deco are on the right. They love chilling.
Such good dogs. This is Allie Lanyon's dog, Lulu. Allie says she loves human food and evening snuggles on the couch.
And Amanda Peterson rescued these two pups, Henry on the left and Aubrey on the right, and their lab pit mixes.
Here's our newest reporter, Jeremiah Marshall, with his dog, Hercules. They both look very happy, I would say.
They do. And here's a dog who stops by our newsroom now and then. Our news director's dog, Olivia Dangler, captured this photo of her Gus, which I like to call the Guster. He's so stinking cute, little Yorkie. Okay. Speaking of pets on this National Dog Day, the Lancaster PSPCA is celebrating in a big way. It's looking to rehome some furry little friends with a Clear the Shelter event. Adoption fees are reduced across the board until mid-September. The search is on for forever homes. The adoption fee includes spaying or neutering and all the necessary vaccinations, including a microchip. So cute. Well, still ahead, after losing her son unexpectedly, a Mid-State woman is helping families who also lost loved ones by starting a fundraiser in her son's honor.
Secure your deal and head to your Hyundai dealer today, where new vehicles are arriving daily. Hey, it's your journey. Own it. Lease an Elantra for $149 a month, or get an Elantra or Sonata for 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
A wise man once said nothing was certain except death and taxes. Well, add college football to the list because DraftKings Sportsbook's latest offer is a sure thing. New customers bet at least $1 on college football and get $200 in return, no matter what. So death, taxes, and $200 to ring in college football season. Download the app now. Sign up with the promo code. Bet $1 to get 2 Ben Franklins. See what we did there? And make it rain.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yeah, it has 3 rows.
So you.
Your Buick has Apple CarPlay. Where do I plug in?
It's wireless.
That's so you. What do I do with these? Careful, it's kind of busy.
Oh, I got this with my superpowers.
And a little help from your Buick.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Current eligible Buick lessees get this low mileage lease on this 2021 Buick Encore GX for around $179 per month.
Aloha, I'm Sonny Diamond, inviting ABC27 viewers to join me on a fabulous tour to the Hawaiian Islands, November 12th to the 21st. Enjoy the attractions and tropical scenery of 3 beautiful islands. We'll pay our respects at Pearl Harbor on Oahu, view the landscapes of Kauai, and discover unique sea life on Maui. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword Harrisburg, for more information on how you can attend a virtual travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Secure your deal and head to your Hyundai dealer today, where new vehicles are arriving daily. Hey, it's your journey. Own it. Now lease a 2022 Tucson for $189 a month, or a 2022 Santa Fe for $229 a month. Hurry in.
A Mid-State woman who now lives in South Carolina lost her son at the age of 22.
He saved lives, and now she is doing even more to help other suffering parents. Here's our Michelle Drapak.
Ben was the kid that lit up the room. Everybody loved him, cared about everybody.
And Ben Liebgott is caring and saving lives even after his unexpected death in 2019, just before his 23rd birthday.
Oh, 100%, they saved my life. We had actually had the discussion that if he wanted to be an organ donor, he just had to check the box when he renewed his license. And fortunately, we had that discussion.
Ben donated his organs to 5 different people, including one of his kidneys to Jenna Stewart, who grew up in York and actually grew 2 inches taller after her transplant.
I am so much healthier than I was. I gained 40-ish pounds in a year.
Ben's mom started a charity in South Carolina, Blankets from Ben, in her son's honor. She's planning to create a chapter in the Mid-State soon.
I have reached out to the organ procurement organization in Pennsylvania, and they are very interested and excited about the idea of receiving blankets to present to loved ones.
She can take the worst thing that's ever happened to her and change it into something that'll help other people that are going through the same thing.
And we have information on how to donate blankets to Blankets from Ben on our website, abc27.com. For ABC27 News, I'm Michelle Drapak.
Coming up next, a young pop star is making history in ABC's new season of Dancing with the Stars. Why the show's host believes lives will be changed. Get answers to your questions at abc27.com/vaccine.
It's nice to know your blind spot can be protected. Blind Spot Monitor, standard on all 2021 Volkswagen SUVs, unlike all Honda or Subaru SUVs. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the sophisticated and capable 2021 Tiguan S4 Motion for just $279 a month.
We stop to look at our mail, and that's why I deliver my circulars in the Savings Guide. Design and postage is included, and you can target homes, meaning more customers find you. So take it from a guy who's known for value. Check out this local and effective option at harrisburgsavingsguide.com. Yeah, are we really selling shrimp at that price?
Direct mail works. Contact us to see samples. When it's in their hands, you get noticed.
Grab your golf clubs and get outside. Enjoy the outdoors again, and while getting your game on track with the abc27 golf card. abc27 is offering an exclusive golf card to play one round of golf at 15 different courses throughout central Pennsylvania for only $99. Now through August 31st, go to abc27.com/golf card for more information and to purchase your golf card. But hurry, limited quantities are available. Swing back into action on the greens in central PA with the abc27 golf card.
We thank you for 20 great years and look forward to many more. The National Civil War Museum is the only museum of its class in the country to tell the complete story of the American Civil War. Relive the sights and sounds of America's Civil War and take home a piece of history from the gift shop. Our spacious galleries are family-friendly and enjoyable for all ages. Walk through history at the National Civil War Museum in Harrisburg.
Where every day is a lesson in history.
It's nice to know your blind spot can be protected. Blind spot monitor, standard on all 2021 Volkswagen SUVs, unlike all Honda or Subaru SUVs. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer and check out our college graduate program with a bonus of $1,000 on our select new models for qualified recent college graduates.
Penn State is looking to put 2020 behind them and look ahead to the challenges of a tough Big Ten schedule. What can you expect from this year's Nittany Lions? Andrew Clay and Anderly Penn will have a season preview this Saturday at 7:30, only on ABC27, your Nittany Nation station.
A local university is setting the stage for student success in the entertainment industry. Harrisburg University is gearing up for a weekend of concerts featuring Young the Giant and Jason Isbell. And students are part of the behind-the-scenes action. They're helping build the stage and set up the equipment. It's all part of a new course at the school. The concerts are in Riverfront Park Friday and Saturday nights.
HAC's president just finished raising money for students by biking across the Mid-State. Dr. Ski biked 650 miles this summer, meeting with public school superintendents across 11 counties. It's all to support students at the community college level through the Fund for Excellence for Care. It allows students to focus on education instead of finances.
And that provides resources to many of our students who might experience housing insecurity, food insecurity, may need some assistance along the way. That money will go to be used by our students on all 5 of our campuses.
And as of this morning, Dr. Ski has raised $10,000 through his Biking for HAC initiative. Good job.
Pop star JoJo Siwa will be part of Dancing with the Stars' first same-sex pairing. This year, the 18-year-old came out as part of the LGBTQ community. She says the female-female pairing signals it is okay to be your true self. Show host Tyra Banks says this will save lives.